Hey, this is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, and I want to stop by today and just share a little bit with you. I just recorded an episode of the Heartline with Adelai Brown, our second to last episode of this season, actually. So if you have not checked it out, make sure you check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, every place that podcasts are hosted. The Heartline, one word, with Adelai Brown. And I would absolutely love to connect with you all there. I wanted to chat with you a little bit today because I had this thought in mind, and I figured I needed to run this by the Heart Tribe. And I know I'm not the only one that has had to come to this realization, and I want to share this with you. Your life is not that troublesome or difficult. The problem is you have not yielded to the process, and you're not willing to go with the flow. You want to go on your own, in your own current and your own stream. You have an idea in mind and how this should look, how this should be, how they should act, what they should do, how they should treat you, how they should honor you. And because of that, it is causing discontentment in your life. And I need you to know that once you go with the flow, you can let it go. And once you let it go, your life can transform. It's almost like a bird cannot fly if you're holding it in your hands, right? Same thing applies for, this thing feels like it's shaking so much. Same rules apply for you. If you have an idea, like, for example, there was a time in my relationship, in my marriage, where I felt like everything was wrong because my husband was not doing what I wanted him to do. So there was a flow happening, but I was swimming against the current because I wanted a flow, a current, a stream to go in the direction I wanted it to go. I wanted it to be at the level I wanted it to be on. I wanted it to move at the pace I wanted it to move on. And I was very discontented. I was very frustrated. My husband and I just celebrated 12 years of marriage, and I didn't think that we would make it past year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For many years, every year felt like I would struggle with this because I was going against the flow, right? And when I would talk to my therapist, we would get counseling, all those things. It's like when I sit down and talk to somebody, it's like, it's really not as bad as I'm making it out to be. So why was it such a struggle for me within? Why was it such an issue? Why did I keep finding problems in my marriage? You know why? Because I wasn't willing to go with the flow. I wanted it to be how I thought it should be and how I thought it should look. And he needs to act in the way that I believe that a husband should act because of my life experiences and because of the triggers that I go through in my life. You know what? I had to realize that a lot of what was informing what I wanted from my husband was insecurities within me. I wanted him to march to my beat. I wanted him to move in the current, in the stream, in the flow that I had established because I felt like that would make life better. That would make me feel better about myself and my situation. That's not the case. What the issue was, I needed to get in the flow of what God had for me. And I needed to let go of these expectations that I pulled out of the air for what I need my man to do for me, because I pull those expectations out of the air from a place of insecurity, of doubt, of fear, of lack, of worry, of concern. And so I believe that you might be in a situation in your life where you feel like you're not doing good enough. You feel like you don't have enough. Maybe you're a certain age and you feel like by this age I should have done this, and by this age I should have been this place. I should have established this in my life. I should have been able to have traveled this place. I should have bought this by now. My children should be like this. I should have children by now. I should be married by now. I should have been divorced by now. Wherever you are in your life, I want to encourage you to get in the flow, because the flow flows just like the seasons, right? When you get in the flow, you understand that there's going to be a winter, a summer, a spring, a fall, and they're going to come in their respective orders. You're going to have winter, spring, summer, fall. That's just how life goes. The problem is you're trying to do it your way. You want to have winter, and then you want to have summer, and then you want summer to last all the way through spring. You don't even want a fall. Matter of fact, you don't even want a winter. You want things to always be blossoming and blooming. But guess what? Nature doesn't operate like that. God didn't set your life up to operate like that. But it's time for you to get in the flow and understand the seasons that come with being in your flow. But the thing about getting in the flow is you have to yield to it. You have to actually surrender your will, your desires, the way you thought it was supposed to be. You know, you have to surrender being right. I know. You stand on that. You stand on being right. You stand on having the answers. That's a part of how you found your identity. Right? You always need to know what's going on. You always need to have a plan, because that's how you protect yourself, right? No, it's not. It's a false sense of security. And that's why you're struggling with going to sleep at night. That's why you're not using the bathroom regularly. That's why your hair is falling out. That's why you can't connect intimately. You know why? Because you're going against the flow. You are going against the plan that God has put in place for your life, and you're trying to do it your way. You're trying to get it going from your perspective, like the thing that I know is you genuinely, sincerely think you're doing the right thing. But what I'm telling you is you need to sit down and really look at your life, and you need to ask yourself, am I in a flow, or am I all over the place? Am I like trying to establish myself in a space where the Lord is telling me I need to move? Am I trying to stay for a long time and the Lord is telling me it's time to go? Am I trying to run away from this situation and the Lord is telling me, you know what? It's time for you to confront that situation. What I need you to know is that you're good enough to take however long it takes for you to get yourself in a flow and flow through your seasons of life. You don't have to always figure it out. You don't have to always have the answers. You don't have to present yourself with perfection so that you can protect yourself from the critics, so that you can protect yourself from the rejection, from the abandonment, from the doubt, from the lack of belief in. You get to, okay? Get in that flow. Get in that flow. And I want to help you do that. In order for you to get in the flow, you need to make sure that your heart is right. So if you have not already, I want you to click the link, the heart checklist link that should be in this video in the bio, and do your heart checklist. I have a video that goes with it where I'll guide you along the checklist and kind of confront and address some areas of your life that might be blind spots for you right now. This is your year. But it's just not going to look the way you thought it was going to look. This is your year. Things are not going to happen the way you thought they were going to happen. But guess what? It's going to take place. And if you continuously keep getting out of the flow or trying to swim upstream, guess what's going to happen? It's just going to make it take longer. God is a God of abundance. You get another opportunity. You just need to get yourself ready. And how do you get yourself ready? By getting in the flow, learning how to let go. Stop addressing everything they say to you. Stop trying to prove yourself to people. Stop doing all that. Stop doing it. Because guess what? They already made up their mind about you anyway. It's time for you to make up your mind about yourself, but it's time to tell a new story. It's time for you to make up in your mind that you are going to do what's best for you. Because the minute you do what's best for you, that's how you can be good to everybody else. I'm not talking being selfish. I'm talking about self-care. Self-care that allows you to care for others on a level that you never thought that you could care for them. And I'm speaking from personal experience. But I feel like you need to know you don't need another certification. You don't need another degree. You do not need to just up and just disrupt your life right now. What you do need to do is get still, get silent, turn off your thoughts, give your brain some oxygen, and start the work, the hard work that's required for you to get in the flow. Because when you get in that flow, that means you're yielding to the process that God has for your life. And when you yield to that process, your entire life is going to change. You're not messed up. You are good enough. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have everything that it takes to be all of who you need to be. Everything that it takes to be all of who you need to be. I just want you to commit to the process. Get in the flow. Yield to the flow. Stay yielded even when it's tough, even when you want to cry, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you feel exposed. That's all a part of your growth. That's all a part of your deliverance. That's all a part of your breakthrough. And it's going to be worth it when you get there. Trust me, it's hard right now. But when you get to where you're going, it is going to be worth it. And you're going to be so thankful that you did it. Don't give up. Trust the flow that God has set for your life. I know you got disappointed that last time. I know it didn't work out the way they promised that it would. I know you might have been embarrassed. I know they let you down. You lost out on a lot of money, or so you thought. Was it a loss or was it a lesson? Think about that. Was it a loss or was it a lesson? Like this video if it's helped you. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get notifications about more videos. I'm committed to going live more, getting in here and talking to you all in the heat of the day, in the evening, when we're going through things. Life keeps lifing. We're going to keep heart working. Okay? I love y'all. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, signing out.